Welcome everybody, this is going to be a little follow-up video to the BitTorrent for beginners I did before. This is sort of like a little tips and tricks one to apply. Once you've got the hang of just downloading, basically you can start being a bit more advanced where you're downloading and doing all these little tips and tricks. Especially it works better for rare torrents or torrents with low seeders. So a good example would be, I'll use a good example here. We'll go, and it's this site here I use for this, is torrents. I know I said I use the Pirate Bay generally, but other torrents are good. I'll just search straight out for this. Something pretty rare, just randomly. Tom and Jerry, maybe? Pretty sure that would be hard to find and not a lot of people would have it. There we go. So we could just go for this complete collection here. The 65 seeds. There's nothing, but give it a go. We'll click on it. It's huge, but it's just for a tutorial, so as an example. I mean, I actually download this. So what we'll do is it opens up this page here. Oh, don't want to take that. Tom and Jerry, and it gives you a list of the sort of as Torrents works like a sort of like travel agent, one of those travel agent websites that searches all the best deals for you around the net. Same as Torrents. Torrent searches all the main torrent sites and then digs up what it can find, and yeah, it spouts out back these results. So what we'll do is we'll start that download. We'll pick the one from the Pirate Bay because good old Pirate Bay is pretty reliable. It says there, yeah, 65 seeds, 46 litres. So what we'll do is we'll hit get this torrent. We'll start that one cranking. So that's pretty big. It's 8 gig. So what we'll do is we'll start the download. We'll let that go for a few minutes or a minute or two, and then while I'm letting that pick up speed, what we're going to be looking at, we can get rid of this Pirate Bay now. We've started the download. We've got the torrent into BitComet. So now this is what we're going to be looking at here, torrent trackers. So we're going to use these to get a bit more speed on our download. What we'll do is we'll wait for a few seconds. We'll just check on that download, see how it's going. So as you can see, it's pretty low seeds at the moment. The health of that is only 622%, so we'll let it go for a few seconds. Let's have a look at the summary. So it's been going for 41 seconds. I'll let it go for about a minute and a half. See how many seeds it can get. It's starting to pick up a bit of speed now. We're up to about 150, almost 200. And what we're going to do is we're going to, while we're waiting for that to pick up speed, we will go back to the torrents page. Always leave this open, and we'll get this uTorrent compatible list. You can get this list here. You can just do this and grab it, but then it picks up all this crap on the side here, so it's better to get the compatible list. It opens it up in a notepad sort of form, and then we can just copy all them. So we'll right click and copy. Then we shall return to BitComet after you've copied them, and we'll just still hover and just watch this for a sec. And it's still going, it's going pretty strong. It's picking up speed, still picking up. We'll give it a few more seconds. I just want to see what it taps out at. It seems to be finding peers, this one. It's actually quite good for a low seeded torrent. I'm actually shocked at how quick it's going. It's almost 500. It's actually quite good. Still finding them. Still connecting to seeds. But I reckon we could give this a little kick up the bum here using our little tactic here. So what we're going to do is we've just copied those tracker lists. So we're going to right click on that download. And we're going to hit properties. And it's going to bring up obviously the download we just did, but we're going to hit on the advanced tab here. And it's got some trackers in there already. See? What we're going to do is we're going to pop our list that we copied. We'll paste that in there. Get rid of these spaces. You don't know if you have to. I like to though. I like it to be neat. So just filter down. There's some spaces in there, so we've added a few trackers in there. That's it. So let's see our download at the moment. We're hovering about the 400 mark. So let's OK that and give it a few seconds for those trackers to kick in, and we'll see what kind of difference that makes to speed. Usually gives it a nice kick up the bum after a few seconds, or a few minutes, about a minute or so. Once those trackers start to return peers, as you see, this is obviously the ones we added in down the bottom. Some of them will come up as a connection error, but it will keep trying to find trackers. So that was, we dropped the speed down to about 300, so we picked it back up by adding the trackers in to 500. There we go, and it's cranking up now. It's pushed up to 600 for a second then, but then it's crashed back down again. So it's hit and miss really with the trackers. It can be really good sometimes. But at the moment it seems to be keeping us at a steady 400 kilobytes a second, which is a good speed for this download. So yeah, not bad. We've lost a lot of seeds though, as you can see. We were peaking at 40 a minute ago. As I say, torrents are very temperamental. It's obviously people are online and then they decide they shut the computer down and then they're no longer seeding. So all of a sudden you lose speed because you're losing 4 or 5 people simultaneously disconnect from BitComet, and then bam, it affects your download speed. Your download speed crashes down like 100 kilobytes. But then there's always other people coming on and all sorts of stuff. So that looks good. We'll just leave it at that. And that seems to be sitting at a nice steady 500, between 4 and 500, which is pretty good. So it's like 5 hours to download. Pretty big torrent as well, 8.5 gig, and it's as I say, it's one of those torrents that's, as we looked at it, it doesn't have a lot of seeds, so you expect it to be a bit longer. I'll have to find seeds for it, but I think we're doing alright. It's hovering around the 500 mark. So that's a little tip and trick to use after you've picked up the basics of torrents. Once you've downloaded a few, just in the way I showed you in the first video, then you can start applying this little trick in the future once you start getting the hang of it. And yeah, happy torrenting.